There you go. About you've
I'm
got
making
such
a joint to smoke on the balcony.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
Disclaimer.
You've got such a good sense of humour. What's that about in relation to what we're doing? Because there's a lot of very what's that about?
I guess you could. It's two things, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the most basic and obvious is like, why do you think loads and loads of queers have such a good sense of humour? It's like, you've shut down. Why do you think Stuart's hilarious? Because so fucking shut down because of everything that's happened to you.
Stuart from the Gay Liberation Party.
Like, the only thing left is to just joke about everything.
Yeah.
And actually, nothing's a joke. It's terrible. So it's that thing like, maybe, you're in the car at a family funeral and everyone's laughing. It's not because they're heartless, it's because it's the only way to cope. That's one way to look at it. Like, we're all fucked. That's why we're... But I also think, like, when I was a kid, and probably the same for you, a lot of what you're being told doesn't really resonate straight up because you're different and you know you're different, and then it starts to become bullshit. And I think there's a couple of... Like, the best way to look at that is humanity's a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
And most of what we've been told is bullshit.
Yeah.
But like, physiologically, if you are laughing, you'd feel better. Yeah. There's fucking people in India that laugh even though they're gutted, just ha 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 at each other, and they feel better. Yeah. It's just like exactly. So and also I can't help it. One of my archetypes is clown. Yeah. Like, if there's a really serious room, I'll start breakdancing in it because it's like, oh, come on, someone's got to... Yeah. I don't like that tension that builds with... I'm the opposite of, like, academic. I can't just sit in a room with a load of white people seriously discussing queer equality or something like that. You know, like, it's the worst. Like, no. Yeah, yeah. Let's have a bit more fun. Yeah. Part of our spirit is that we are able to laugh at disgusting, terrible, hideous things. Yeah. Or we can turn them into some learning. Totally. It's total survival, isn't it? Yeah. So your favourite action, or two actions, you've been involved in, and why? The first I had to put was the one we did. I had to put the plaques, the blue plaques. Yeah. Because that came out of the most dysfunctional, disorganised set of meetings with maybe, 5 million different options. And suddenly, out of all of those options we had, far too many options running, Damien said, why don't we copy the blue, and that's what I call queer third eye. That was like maybe 50 options on the table, maybe 100 disgruntled people that couldn't really get on, only 2 days to go, someone had written all the wrong copy. But within those 2 days, we managed to make exact replicas of the English heritage plaques. We really did mobilise the right number of people, so that the arty people like me and Stuart weren't trying to climb the Houses of Parliament at 5 a.m. We were like really angrily getting the facts right and using a laser cutter. Yeah. Then you've got all the angry lesbians that were climbing buildings in the morning at 5 a.m. And then like you managed to mobilise all those just sad arty queers to colour in the plaques. Oh yeah. Because I didn't have time. In the laser cutter thing. And that was just a really good example of a peaceful protest that just went blah. I got contacted by some New York queer magazine. We all got contacted by different people. Yeah. I don't even know how they got our names. Yeah. And they did really quickly, and it was in the Independent. It was everywhere. Everything. Yeah. And basically, it was 2 days. We'd maybe done 2 months worth of bullshit planning. Yeah. But that actual, from start to finish, of the idea of what we'd do and how we'd do it. Yeah. So fast, so good, and you can't replicate that. Yeah. You can still Google that shit. The Admiral Duncan still has their plaque. Still there. It's still there. The plaque outside there is beautiful. Done. And the second one, I don't know if you consider it an action, but I've put Affordable Pride. Yeah. No, I definitely do. Which is to give it its proper title, Ginger Johnson's Affordable Pride. And Ginger Johnson is another ascended drag queen who is just like, that event is the exact reason why Pride is fucked, but why the spirit of Pride still lives on. Yeah. And we didn't contact our hamlets. We didn't pay £5,000 to shut down the street. We just did a crowdsourced thing where we shut down the street. The little homophobic pub on the corner bought into it. They were really happy. They were serving drinks. They were making money. Nobody complained because we were really sweet.
Yeah.
We had to pass children's bikes over the crowd to get them up into one of the flats because it was that. And the kids were then out the window.
Ah, so good.
But you were there, weren't you? It was one of the best days ever. It was no joke. I'd say 500 people came to Lime Wolf.
It was amazing.
That's a 70 capacity garage.
Yeah.
And it
that's
was
a portal,
Radical
right?
Fairies, and it was all the queers that had come from weird ass places that had been trying to find somewhere friendly.
Yeah.
And because our people were actually friendly, they came to Affordable Pride. I don't know what happened to the actual Pride events because I think we got everyone.
All the kiddings. Yeah, totally.
But we started at like 1 in the afternoon because I wanted to be there for anyone who felt like they couldn't go to the parade.
Yeah.
And one of the first people that showed up was Lavinia Co-op doing Alexander Technique for free from 2 till 6.
Amazing.
I was giving away free Reiki. We were all doing like whatever, and it ended up with a proper party. And that was, I think, there were homeless people there. There were all, there were people there that really couldn't have got into another place because they couldn't spend 5p on drinks. But because it was the street, they're just drinking in the street. Yeah. But they were protected because they were with us.
Yeah.
So I think that was a bigger action than any of the definite actions.
Yeah.
Because also Ginger made a Janet Street pinata, which was a paper mache head of Janet Street Porter that was filled with bad ideas. There was a Milo head. Like we trashed stuff, we did people's puppetry. It all got lost because there were so many people there you couldn't even see what was happening. Yeah. But like Lavinia got up and did a piece from New York from the like.
It was part of the Blue Lips, an amazing drag.
The 80s.
Yeah.
Just that was genuinely intersectional.
Yeah.
And that's why it felt so fucking amazing.
Powerful. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. And actually, I can't wait to talk about what we're going to do this year. But so, last question.
Yeah.
Finish the sentence. Brick by brick, stone by stone.
I've taken, because I'm a poet,
Yeah.
I had to, I'm sorry. So, brick by brick, stone by stone, we take down the walls to build a bridge home.
Oh, wow.
Poetry.
Wow.
Get that out there, actually. Poetry.
Yeah.
Oh, I spit poetry the entire time. I actually need to pull it in.
Rein it in, mate.
Rein it in.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, well, they were good questions.
Say it again.
Do you like the questions?
Say that one again. Brick by brick, stone by stone.
It's really cheesy. We take down the walls to build a bridge home.
Okay.
I had a few options, but that one's just like, that's cheesy, simple, done.
And did you like the questions?
Yeah, I loved the questions. They were really good. That's why I wrote them down, because I thought, like, we'll probably just talk shit, but then at least you'll have some facts there.
Thank you so much. And then, so, I'll keep it recording, because, so what are we going to do this year, mate? What are you...
Well...
Are we going to do Affordable Pride again, or what are you thinking?
Well, so you can't get it out there yet, but I've been working with Sink the Pink and the Outside Project.
Yeah.
So they're now helping
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're funding a 6-month artist residency for us, which is it's Freddie Lanker has like devised a whole program, and it's really interesting. I mean, Freddie's going to mentor for the first 6 months. We've got money from Sink the Pink. We've got a space in Camden. We're teaming up with unis and fab labs that have got gear. What we're trying to do is have this running the whole time, basically. So every 6 months, it's a new resident who works on like activist campaigns, but like it's all going to sound a bit academic now. I said I hate academic people, but basically like giving a kind of identity to the placards that we use at Pride. So we did that for this Pride. We did like 6 workshops with Freddie Lanker, doing actual visual identity. It's the same with our merch. We've got I'll show you our merchandise.
Freddie's amazing.
So it's for a homeless shelter, but it's these bum badges, and they're basically like sort of a work of art, but also really simple, really easy to sell. We've got 1 pink, 1 yellow, 1 purple, and
Freddie's brilliant.
I'm really into sales and marketing, and I think what happens is you're doing something like a homeless shelter, right? And I've been doing it now for 1.5 years. Everyone's like, here's a £5,
Yeah.
you know, or they're like, can I come and volunteer? Oh, and it shouldn't be like that. It should be fucking joyous. It's a tragedy that capitalism exists and that people are on the streets. It doesn't really matter if they're gay, straight, whatever. It's more like, why can't we show a different model?
Like
Something's
ACT UP,
interesting.
like all of that.
Like what?
ACT UP, like the joyous, that one, that above the kitchen door.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Like all the kind of ACT UP, like powerful, powerhouse.
Yeah. But it's like also giving chances to people. So it's like, so this artist that's funded by Sink the Pink will run workshops for the homeless, for our guests. So like ceramics, we've got access to shit through the unis because they're guilty. You know, so you've got to be an artist, but we'll be looking for like young marginalised people of colour who can then work with all the marginalised guests so that there's options. But we're also looking for a proper model which is making really cool merch. We can't just sell the bum badges for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
Like every 6 months we should have a refresh.
Yeah.
So some new artist gets a chance to make really interesting merch, try and get us more press through art, because also you're not seeing enough of that. It's like outsider art, so some homeless person has drawn a shit cat and everyone's like, that's fucking great. But that's actually, we're trying to show that we need to raise awareness for the shelter, the idea, to get a community centre where we can actually do this shit, and that it's not, those two worlds aren't separate.
Yeah.
Because if you've seen some of our guests, you wouldn't know they were homeless, because they're queer, so they're making a really good effort, and they're also on Grindr, and they're doing, you know, they're getting money from sex and stuff. So it's really important to try and get rid of all of that feeling that you can just give a bit of money or time, and that you can actually get involved in a project where the homeless people are right beside you. But once we start doing a bit of press on that, with using Sink the Pink's massive marketing reach, I think we'll get loads of attention.
And is there like regular, like weekly meetings or like?
Yeah, we do so much, but we're just like, it's just that straight community centre in Camden has just been lovely and given us all their space, and Street's Kitchen give us space, but we still don't have a fucking space. It looks like we do, but it's not ours. We're just in a straight place that's really sweet. So I want more publicity so that we get given our own space, and then we can actually have like Lime Wolf.
Yes.
But there'll be a hostel part of it. We thought we could get that in 6 months, but it's going to take like maybe another 6 months. So that's the most important thing for me, is like get a fixed space.
Do you think it would work again to do another like Sexual Avengers model?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, you can do it in the chateau, but it's like...
In Camden?
Yeah, but it's not accessible. It's
not
like
accessible.
15 steps down to a basement.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, I know.
So we'd have to find somewhere... Accessible.
There's the Common Heads, they're up for things. You know those guys.
Yeah. That's true. Or Lark.
Yeah.
Just around the corner.
Yeah.
Lark would be ideal.
Red On is half back in use, but
I love Red On. We did HIV blind date there.
Yeah, but they're really annoying. They're too like flaky.
Did you? I've only had one experience.